Hey, aloha ladies. Welcome to another real, raw, honest segment with Roxelle today. As you know, I am just here. You'll hear the dogs barking in the background. You might hear some cars passing. We're keeping it that real, that raw, that honest with you in these fresh new segments on my brand new YouTube channel that I'm just rolling off the dome with all of you, free flowing, doing what I do best, and just having really honest conversations. There's come a time in my life where I realized that is part of my gift. The gift of gab, apparently. And to get this segment started, as you know, it's unscripted, so I like to pull a little love letter from my deck. I was feeling good today, so I'm gonna roll out as many episodes as I can. Get a drink in between, some water from my copper mug. To all you ladies out there, get a beverage, pull up a seat. Come and have some girl talk with me. Relax. I'm 36 weeks pregnant and we are here just entertaining myself during these last few weeks of the pregnancy and just sharing with you things that, in my growing audience here at my brand Fused Hawaii. I'm the founder of that company. There's so many women that reach out to me with different questions and DMs and comments and some negative, some positive. And it's funny because the negative comments, they sometimes come in and they sting. But you get used to it after a while when you've been in the business for this long. But the funny part is it's like one negative comment will come in, and sometimes I notice that many a times we seem to focus on the one negative comment. But if we just look to the left, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beautiful, inspirational, positive, uplifting comments and women who are rallying for love, positivity, light. And I love you. Let me just take a moment to thank you for all the positivity that has been flowing in my way constantly since I built the brand. And honestly, you're the motivation, you are the fuel, you're the light that keeps my fire burning inside of me to keep on showing up as transparent, as authentic as possible, showing up on the days where I don't feel like it, showing up on the days where I don't feel capable, I don't feel worthy of using my gifts to share with all of you, but because of all of you. I do. Because as you know, I really do think that one person can create change. And so for those of you who have stumbled upon this channel and is watching this, thank you for your time, first off. And it's just a reminder that yes, just one comment in a Facebook feed or YouTube feed or Instagram feed can change the entire trajectory of a person's world, which when that person goes off into their day, they then are able to spread that. It's a ripple effect of good, positive energy and love. And so I want to thank all of you, instead of shining the love on the haters and the light on the haters, and redirect our focus to all the positive comments, to all the positivity in the world. And I think that's the start of like changing the world, guys. One person at a time. Domino effect, ripple effect. Those terms all exist for a reason. So I'm going to pull a card again for this segment and let's see where this leads. Where does the conversation lead? This is a body love deck that I created a couple of years ago. Believe if we still have some available, it is on our fusehawaii.com site. So check it out. Body love letter intention deck. I created it with 111 cards because my numbers are 11. I'm born on the 11th. It's my master number, all of that. And I see it everywhere my whole entire life. So here we go. Let's see what pops out here. Okay, this one here flipped over. I am worthy of love. Did you know what I was going to talk about today? Because that was pretty much spot on. So for all of you who are here who have stumbled across this random segment amongst all the good edited, highly edited videos on YouTube, you're here with me. Thank you. And this message is for you. I'm worthy of love. It's also for me. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So as you know, on my last episode, which was my first episode of this channel, real, raw, honest, real talk with Roxelle, I spoke about this pregnancy and how it just really woke me up to taking my energy, taking a little bit of time for myself, holding a little bit of space for myself for the first time in my life at 35 years old. Yes, it took me that long. This card reminds me of that last segment. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. Come back to this. It's short. And the reason being is this reminds me of the moment that I took my power back in a way. Took space, took time to breathe, be with my baby, be with myself. I noticed something happen. It created a little bit of an effect in my life. I began to see how much love I was giving out, how much energy I was giving out, how much time I was giving of myself to others, because I wanted to. I wanted to share my aloha spirit, my love, my joy, my lessons, my things that I learned along my path with as many people as possible. That was my mission upon starting my brand, Fused Hawaii. And at that time, I had big dreams of inspiring the world around me, and I still do. And what I learned at 35 years old, going on my actually 6th pregnancy, I miscarried last year. We'll talk about that in another show. But what I learned was sometimes what you think was a really good idea could cause some things around you to change that makes you go through some hard points. And honestly, guys, the day I realized I am worthy of loving myself, I didn't know that all of that energy, that love, that good kindness, that joy that I was giving away and not giving back to myself ever, the moment I took a little bit for myself, the world would react. And what do I mean by that? Almost immediately after, you might be in a stage of your life where you're deciding this and you're scared and you're like, how do I do this? So many people rely on me. So many people depend on me. I'm a business owner. I'm in charge of people's jobs. I have 4 daughters of my own. I'm in charge of their happiness, their joy, their upbringing. I have my mom, my sister, my husband, to think about. We have so many responsibilities. But yet I knew that day that the most valuable thing for all of the people around me was for me to empower myself, which meant loving myself, which meant taking a little bit of time away from them and back to me, because energy is transferent. So if you're giving and giving and giving, right? I could pour this water out of this cup, and at some point it's going to run out. We know that quote. We hear it all the time. Glass half full, glass half empty. But do we ever think about it and think about our own vessels? Our bodies? We always just think of it as some meme or something we've read on the internet. But I guarantee you that if I were to pour this, which I'm not right now, all over myself, the water in this cup is bound to run out, and I'm not any different. And so sometimes, guys, loving yourself and knowing you're worthy of love requires you to make a little bit of people uncomfortable. Because what happens immediately is when you do this, because energy is transferent, that sometimes goes when you're shifting that love back to you, that time back to you, that attention back to you. without even realizing it, I was taking away from others who had relied on my energy for a long time, relied on me for their finances, for emotional support, for love, for attention. And I love love. I can say it so many times, I'm the biggest cheerleader for people. I'm that girl you meet, and if I love you, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. And that's a really cool energy to be around. That's what I learned. Because I've been around it, I've now sat with myself for this many months, and I'm like, wow, I appreciate that. I appreciate me right now. I appreciate how much love I was giving out to the world, how much attention I was giving to others, how much dependability I was showing up for others, loyalty, and all those things that I truly value and still value to this day. But unfortunately, I learned quickly about, energy vampires in a way. I learned quickly that people you thought were going to be with you through the thick and the thin, through the good times, the bad, that's not always the case. See, I had never took that time for myself. I never took the love for myself. I'm always a giver. I give it away. I love sharing. It's like if I buy something, I want to buy 2 of them to share with my friend. When I have money come in and any sort of abundance, I was a giver. I love giving. I don't even like to shop unless it's for other people. I didn't even like to go out and enjoy things unless it was for someone else, because I love seeing their joy. I love seeing the smile on their faces, and that was my gift, and receiving was a gift. That's something many people didn't understand. A lot of the times people would come around me and they would almost get intimidated by the amount of money their stories in their head would say I make about the type of person I was because of my social media presence, because I had this many kids, or I've been married this many years, or anything, right? I was starting to realize how much I was being defined by my accomplishments. I was starting to be defined by other people's versions of me. And it kept me in a box for a lot of years, being all those things to all these people, which I didn't understand at the time, because I'm such a chameleon, and I can do, and I can be anywhere, and I can be so freaking happy because I just love being in a good vibe and a good energy and a free-flowing spirit. And watch, as long as I'm with really cool people, they always tell me you hear those questions, if you could take 3 things out of your house, what would it be? Honestly, it's super simple with me. Or if I could be stranded on an island, I just need some good people that laugh and live, enjoy, and resonate, love. And with that, I'm good anywhere. Put me on a beach, put me on the dirt, put me in the mountains, dress me up however you want, feed me whatever you want, as long as I'm fed, hydrated, and with good people. My day and my life was good. And I didn't realize, it wasn't that way always for everyone. So for all of you who are deciding to take that journey for yourself and love yourself, just know there's going to be days where you're going to get pushed back. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose people. Let me rephrase that. You're not going to lose friends. Friends are always real. The real ones stick around. You're going to lose people who claimed to be friends until things got real, right? Until you needed some love for yourself. It's funny. So That's, something that you're going to go through as you decide to love yourself more. And that's something that doesn't get said a lot. We see a lot of things on social media, love yourself, all these positive, inspirational messages, but nobody tells you the dark side of it all. You will lose some things along the way, but what you lose along the way was just extra weight you were carrying. And 8 years after that decision, here I am feeling freer than I've ever been, like a free bird. So, and in the beginning of it all, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm losing people. Like, what? The person that said they would love me through thick and thin, like, fell off in 2 seconds. Like, where did that? Hey, I said this was real, raw, and honest, right? So here we go. This is girl time. This is real talk, girl talk. And so, honestly, but I'm 35, all right? I've been through many transformations in my life. This is not the first one. So many times. And I had a deja vu moment when this was all happening. And you guys, so many people fell off. It was like flies on what. It was just like dead flies just dying. I don't know how that quote goes. But anyways, that's just what I thought of right now. But anyhow, be prepared. And what I would, when I look back, I'm like, wait, the more people that fall off, the more energy I save. They weren't going to last. They weren't going to last to where you're going next. You are like, I was transforming so quickly. Like, I was changing everything about me. I was surprised with who I was becoming. My voice was getting louder. I was getting more confident. I was getting confident in my skin. Like, just the way you carry yourself in the world is different. And I didn't realize, like, that was, like, energy that I was giving away. Almost like a suction cup of energy being taken to fuel other people who were not fueling themselves properly at the time. And you're going to tell who are these energy vampires I've heard, or who these people sucking the life out of you in a way. I'm being real and raw and honest, and this is real stuff that we need to talk about. And what I'm here to say is, ladies, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal, because what does that say about you? What does that say about you? If we are all just conducting some sort of energy, electric, love, right? And we're all to hold hands. I did that experiment in science class in like 8th grade. I remember sitting in a circle and we all held hands, and like they'd send like an electric current and you'd feel it right through, because we as humans are conductors of electricity to a degree. And so like you could feel it go through the palms of our hands. And the moment one would let go, that energy would stop transferring. So the circle it would stop, right? One person let go, the circle would stop because why? Because we're all plugged in to the source, that source energy, wherever it was coming from, right? And so immediately when this started happening and people started falling off, I was a little hurt. I'm human. It was like, where'd my friends go? People don't like me. I turned 12 again. You're like, oh God, kind of hurts. But then I woke up. Wake up, guys. Look at this circle of energy. As an 8th grader, I learned this. Actually, I think it was 6th grade. If people start falling off the moment you take your power back, who's the source of the energy? Who's the source of the power? Who was feeding all of these people who could no longer stand on their own because I decided to take my power back one day? I was powerful. That's what I learned. And it was a hard lesson. I'm human. I have feelings. I have a big heart. And it hurts when people intentionally hurt you because of insecurities, low self-esteem, scarcity mindset. lack of abundance. But I also learn of my ability to continue loving even through the darkest times. And at that point in my life where I felt at my lowest, it allowed me to build a foundation to be my strongest. And to show up here 8 months later, 36 weeks pregnant, laughing, talking with all of you, and super excited about all of these lessons I get to talk with you about and share, and everything I've learned along this journey of building a multi-7-figure brand, of being pregnant 6 times in my life, sharing my stories of love and lost and loving again and losing again and loving again and losing again. We can make a song about it. I'll write that song one day. But this is me still continuously living in my joy over 15 years later of creating my brand, building my dream life, and continuing to dream even bigger, because that's what life's about. And that's what I want to be remembered for. Like when my daughters get older, I just want them to remember that, like, Mom spoke her truth. She was fun. She did what she wanted to and always lived life 100% on her own terms. So ladies, thank you for joining me today. And if there's any men in the audience, thank you as well. And I'll try to push out more episodes today. I'm feeling really good. As you all know, I'm on my 36 weeks. I've been on bed rest for a bit now, but I'm kind of like in that clear zone, so I can kind of move a little more and talk. So I wanted to capture all of these feelings and all of these moments and all these lessons as instantly as possible. And the only way I could do that is to just show up here and unscripted. So I hope you love these segments, and I love you for being here. So thank you. Aloha.